Hare Krishna. We continue reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, Chapter 10, The Opulence of the Absolute, Text 21. Adityanam aham Vishnur,
Adityanam aham Vishnu,
Jyotisam ravir Shuman,
Jyotirsham aham
Anshuman,
Marichir Marutam Asmi,
Mariche Maritam Asmi,
Nakshatranam aham Shashi,
Nakshatranam aham Shashi,
Adityanam of the Adityas,
Adityanam of the Adityas,
aham I am,
aham I am,
Vishnu the Supreme Lord,
Vishnu the Supreme Lord,
Jyotisam of all luminaries,
Jyotisham of all luminaries,
Ravi the sun,
Ravi the sun,
Amshuman radiant,
Amshan radiant,
Marichi
Marichi Marichi,
Marutam of the Maruts,
Marutam of the Marut,
Asmi I am,
Asmi am,
Nakshatranam of the stars,
Nakshatranam of the stars,
Aham I am,
aham I am,
Shashi the moon,
Shashi the moon.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of lights, I am the radiant sun. Of the Maruts, I am Marichi. And among the stars, I am the moon. There are 12 Adityas, of which Krishna is the principal. So there is the Aditya called Vishnu. There are 12 Adityas, and the chief of them is called Vishnu, and Krishna is saying, I am that one. So by this, Arjuna is asking Krishna, how can I, one, in the material world, remember you? Krishna is saying, always think of me. So how can we always think of Krishna? So when we hear or see these, then we should understand this is Krishna. Among all the luminaries shining in the sky, the sun is the chief. And in the Brahma Samhita, the sun is accepted as the glowing eye of the Supreme Lord. So Krishna is saying, I am the radiant sun. Brahma Samhita, Brahma's song. Lord Brahma is saying, the sun is the eye of the Supreme Lord. There are 50 varieties of wind blowing in space, and of these winds, the controlling deity Marichi represents Krishna. So this Marut, they are the blowing wind in the sky, in the space, and the principle of these, the demigod, the controller of these winds is Marichi, and he represents Krishna. Among the stars, the moon is the most prominent at night, and thus the moon represents Krishna. So the sun represents Krishna, the moon represents Krishna. It appears from this verse that the moon is one of the stars. Therefore, the stars that twinkle in the sky also reflect the light of the sun. So the moon is called a star because it reflects the light of the sun. I think even the modern scientists say that. Right? The theory that there are many suns within the universe is not accepted by Vedic literature. The sun is one, and as by the reflection of the sun, the moon illuminates, so also do the stars. So in the Vedas, there is a description of the universe, the planets, the planetary systems, and the Vedas proclaim that there is only one sun inside each universe. There are not many, many suns in the universe. No, only one sun that is sustaining the entire universe, giving light, energy to the entire universe. And this sun represents Krishna. Since Bhagavad Gita indicates herein that the moon is one of the stars, the twinkling stars are not suns but are similar to the moon. So Prabhupada is pointing out in the night, we see the stars twinkling in the sky. Of course, now, as the pollution goes by, we don't see many stars, at least in this part of the world. But yeah, all these stars are not suns, but they are stars. Reading on, Vedanam Sama Vedosmi,
Vedanam Samvedasmi.
Devanam Asmi Vasavaha,
Devanam Asmi Vasavaha.
Indriyanam Manaschasmi,
Indriyanam Manaschasmi.
Bhutanam Asmi Chetana.
Bhutanam Asmi Chetana.
Vedanam of all the Vedas,
Vedanam of all the Vedas.
Samveda, the Samaved,
Samveda, the Samved.
Asmi, I am,
Asmi, I am.
Devanam of all the demigods,
Devanam of all the demigods.
Asmi, I am,
Ashmi, I am.
Vasavaha, the heavenly king,
Vasavaha, the heavenly king.
Indriyanam of all the senses,
Indriyanam of all the senses.
Mana, the mind,
Mana, the mind.
Cha also,
Cha, also.
Asmi, I am,
Asmi, I am.
Bhutanam of all living entities,
Bhutanam of all living entities.
Asmi, I am,
Ashmi, I am.
Chetana, the living force.
Chaitanya, the living force.
Of the Vedas, I am the Samved. Of the demigods, I am Indra, the king of heaven. Of the senses, I am the mind. And in living beings, I am the living force, consciousness. The difference between matter and spirit is that matter has no consciousness like the living entity. Therefore, this consciousness is supreme and eternal. Consciousness cannot be produced by a combination of matter. Why do we say something is living or something is dead? It's because of the presence of the consciousness. If we see the table or our computers or laptops, they're just dead matter. But then when we look at ourselves, we say, I'm living, I'm conscious. But the consciousness is not with the body, the consciousness is with the soul. Because when the soul leaves the body is still there, but we call it a dead body. So the consciousness, the living force, is with the soul. And the living entity, we are part and parcel of Krishna, the supreme soul. Krishna is the supreme consciousness. So here Krishna is saying, I am the living force, the consciousness. Why are we living? Because Krishna is there. We are part and parcel of Krishna. And here, of course, Krishna is saying of the Vedas, I'm the Samved. Of the demigods, I'm Indra, the king of heaven. Of all the senses, I'm the mind. So we can see that how Krishna is represented by all powerful, all the superior things, all the best things. The king of the demigods is Indra, so he's a representative of Krishna. So, okay, let's see. Rudranam Shankaraschasmi.
Rudranam Shankaraschasmi.
Vitesho Yaksha Rakshasam.
Vittesho Yaksha Rakshasam.
Vasunam Pavakaschasmi.
Vasunam Pavakaschasmi.
Meru Shikharinam Aham.
Meru Shikharinam Aham.
Rudranam of all the Rudras.
Rudranam of all the Rudras.
Shankara, Lord Shiva.
Shankara, Lord Shiva.
Cha also.
Cha also.
Asmi, I am.
Asmi, I am.
Vitta Ishaha, the Lord of the treasury of the demigods.
Vita Isha, the Lord of the treasury of the demigods.
Yaksha Rakshasam, of the Yakshas and Rakshasas.
Yaksha Rakshasam, of the Yakshas and Rakshasas.
Vasunam, of the Vasus.
Vasunam, of the Vasus.
Pavaka, fire.
Pavaka, fire.
Cha also.
Cha also.
Asmi, I am.
Asmi, I am.
Meru, Meru.
Meru, Meru.
Shikharinam, of all mountains.
Shikharinam, of all mountains.
Aham, I am.
Aham, I am.
Of all the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. Of the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of wealth, Kuvera. Of the Vasus, I am fire, Agni. And of mountains, I am Meru. There are 11 Rudras, of whom Shankara, Lord Shiva, is predominant. He is the incarnation of the Supreme Lord in charge of the mode of ignorance in the universe. So the Rudras are 11. And the chief of the Rudras is Lord Shiva. He's very famous personalities. Very, very famous in the entire universe. He is the Lord in charge of the mode of ignorance. He's an incarnation of Krishna. The leader of the Yakshas and Rakshasas is Kuvera, the master of the demigods, and he is a representation of the Supreme Lord. So the treasurer of the demigods, there is in each country also there is a treasurer. Each country will announce this person is a treasurer. Or even in a society, some small societies, there someone will be called a treasurer. So the treasurer of the demigods is Kuber, and he represents Krishna. Meru is a mountain famed for its rich natural resources. And Krishna is saying, of the mountains, I am Meru. Of the Vasus, I am fire. So all great things represent Krishna. We'll stop here for today. Thank you so much for listening and joining in. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.